Good. There we go. All right. And go now. Everyone's able to hear us. Well, thank you for being on the show, Loke. Um, yes. Sorry for that delay, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for that delay. But yeah, I really appreciate you being on the show, and I've actually you're a guest that I've been wanting to bring on to my previous show, but I never actually had the time to do that because I kind of quit that show. But yeah, I think this is a good makeup for it, though. Plus, you're a very entertaining host. So, what I usually like to do is I like to go over just like a list of questions, but for you, I'm going off the cuff like I did with Flamish and just going off any questions that come up to mind. All right. So, so the first question I always like to ask my guests is their first console they've ever played. So, what would be your first console? Oh yeah, you were a Nintendo person. So that was, and that was the only thing that was available to you at the time. Then, huh? I think I hear like a little bit of static coming from your mic. I'm not too sure what exactly that is. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. but but that actually kind of leads me into one of my questions. Like, how was like getting consoles like where you live? Like, because I know it's harder in some countries, and you tell me how like expensive PlayStation is over there. So, was getting like a Nintendo back then like easy or was it hard? That's what I figured because for me, because I have family that's Mexico, so I've seen like how hard it is to get a like a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 over there when they were brand new, and as well like a Switch. So they're not exactly easy to get. So people always tend to get the older consoles. Yeah, Yeah, that's exactly what I try to get out of people. I try to get that passion out of them. I mean, that's the point of the show. It's to get your story. How you're like your story in gaming. So, how was buying video games like for you? Like the video games must have been expensive back then, right?
The games were super cheap, but the console is the one that you had to like save up sometimes like 2 years to buy.
And I just I
I'm guessing.
I just want to say I just realized that the stream wasn't capturing your audio. God damn it! There's always has to be something going wrong with when you go live.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I bet you know all about that. I mean, you do multiple shows.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I got everything sorted out now. But
Well, it's episode 4. By the time you get to episode 40, it's gonna be like putting on your pants
yep,
automatic.
practically.
Yeah. Speaking of automatic, I'm trying to get a automatic shotgun in Starfield. I don't know if they exist, but
you know,
I'm hopeful I'll find it. I always main shotguns when I'm in shooting games.
Speaking of Starfield, are
But
you are you in? Are you like down the rabbit hole in Starfield right now? Are you like just sucked into the
yes,
game?
yes, yes. And there's something I want to say now, but I'll also say on the lowdown on Tuesday on my channel. Um, it's definitely exactly what people say when they say it takes a minute to click. But when they say click, they're not talking about the story. It's about the mechanics. Because the mechanics, whether it's navigating the menu, favoriting weapons, figuring out which shortcuts you prefer, and how you want to tackle missions, and the type of party members you want, and their benefits and also drawbacks, their pros and cons, obviously. Once it clicks gameplay wise, wow. And that's how I feel now. Because yesterday when I was on Bullshit and on TSWS, I was like, it's a good game. You know what I mean? It's good. It's all right. If I'm being honest. And I think a lot of the review, in my opinion, a lot of the reviews that you will see, or that we have seen around Starfield, giving it like a 8 and below, I think those are reviews of people that just played it a little bit and left.
Well, if you
If
if you know
you
if you
play,
know like how media outlets work, then then really
no,
they
no,
don't play that much of the game. They just kind of play like
see,
the intro.
now me and you are about to fight, because I don't like the idea of generalizing all media outlets. You know, I think some do it, and then not like, I think like 40% of them do it.
No,
The
I'm not saying
problem
I'm
is
not saying that
they're
all of them
the
do it, but
loudest
I'm just
ones.
saying like companies like IGN usually do that, because they're so large that they have to put out that many reviews in a short amount of time.
But there's another side to it. The devs or the publisher will give you the code to Starfield 5 days before the release. And for IGN, for example, maybe that's inexcusable. But for the majority of other reviewers, what happens is not every channel, not every platform pays the way IGN pays, which IGN also doesn't pay you a fortune, right? But in some instances, it pays you enough that you can pay all your bills just working for IGN. But the majority of these outlets, you have a day job and you work for, I don't know, X company, right? So you get this code for Starfield, but it's 5 days before the release of the game. but you also have a 9 to 5, but you also have kids, you know?
Yeah.
So it will affect the time. It will affect the review. So in this case specifically, I can see a lot of people that didn't have enough time and it didn't click because I remember I'm speaking from my personal experience. Before the 10-hour mark, I was just like, it's a good game. Maximum I would give it is like 8 out of 10. But now it's clicking. It's like Armored Core when I now know how to do all the bursts and my mech moves like it's in an anime. That changes my score dramatically. I think Starfield right now, I'm guessing you're going to ask me eventually. I think Starfield is a 9.9. It's not perfect, but it's a 9.9. This is a great game.
Well, good to know that you enjoy it that much.
Yes.
As someone who
I'm
can't
playing
play
it
it,
right now.
sadly, I am out of the loop when
Oh,
it comes to that game.
you don't have an Xbox?
No, I don't have a PC, but my PC isn't strong
What?
enough, so yeah, I can't play it.
Damn. I know the struggle. I know the struggle.
But moving
I'm
on.
looking to jump into PC. I wanna get
Oh,
a
you
gaming laptop
you
eventually.
definitely should, especially when it comes to the modding community on PC too. Starfield's gonna go ham with mods.
Oh yeah. Like in 2 years, this thing is going to be something completely different.
Yep, I already see some people wanting to turn it into a Star Wars game already.
Oh god. You know which mod I really want? I want the mod that removes all the loading screens when you're on planet. I want a mod.
I heard there wasn't really that many loading screens, that they just kind of turned it into like a black screen for a
No.
bit.
Yeah, yeah. There's lots of loading screens. They're short, but they're still loading screens.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyone that tells you there aren't like irritating loading screens in Starfield is capping, in my opinion at least. There's too many loading screens in this
Well,
thing. It
I'm just saying what
kills
I've seen on Twitter, but yeah,
it kills so much of the
what?
Sorry?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying that I'm just saying what I saw on Twitter. So I don't know if that information is accurate, knowing Twitter. But
Hey man, on Twitter, you were expected to be able to land on gas giants.
oh God.
There's that.
Yeah, you know what? I think that'll be a subject for another day.
Oh,
There's so
come
much we
on.
could
I
talk
want
about
salt.
that. But anyways,
It's
so
your show, man.
yeah. But anyways, this show isn't really about modern topics. To be honest, this is more about
Mm-hmm.
getting to know the creator, getting to know what they're passionate gaming. So with that, I guess now transition into what was your first video game that you played. So since you had a
That I
Nintendo console,
remember.
yeah, that you remember.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Hold hold the phone.
I like to
Does
take
that
people.
little Nintendo
Yeah,
handheld count as a console? Because my first gaming memory was playing Tetris on that tiny Nintendo thingy. I'm
wait, the
forgetting the
Game and
name.
Watch
No, it wasn't a watch. It was an actual like
or the Game Boy.
it was the Game Boy. No, but no, didn't the Game Boy come after the NES?
Yeah,
No, no, no,
it
no, no.
did. At least I believe it
No.
did.
Okay, so it was the NES, and the first game that I played was this Olympics game. Like you had a whole ton of events, you had athletics, you had motorcycle riding, you had high jump, you had the long jump as well. Yeah, that was my first video game.
I'll be honest, I've never heard of
That
those
was
video games
actually
at all.
it was actually one game. It
Huh?
was one game that
Really?
had well, not all of them, but it had a lot of the Olympic events
Huh?
in it. I'm forgetting the name, but it was, yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds so interesting.
And weird.
Yeah, very. I mean, you'd probably never get that nowadays, considering sports games have their own like little genres now. Like you have a game for rugby, you have a game for
No,
tennis, you have a game for
I'm pretty
golf.
sure. I'm pretty sure there's an Olympics-based game. It's probably old as fuck.
No.
Like I don't, of
Well,
course,
the only Olympics game I can think of is Sonic versus Mario at the Olympic Games.
Oh, really? Do we
Yeah.
not have like an official licensed Olympics game?
Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen on store shelves.
Wow, I just assumed there was one. You know, it's like if there's money in a certain IP or activity, I just assume there's someone developing a game for that shit.
Usually there is, but for the Olympics, I haven't seen any. At least nothing that's mainstream. Nothing like your FIFA's,
Wow.
Maddens, or NBA's.
Yeah. You know, and I guess. Oh, hold on. Here it is. Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Yeah, there's a game.
Oh. Oh wow. Well, the more you know.
There's an actual official game that is published by Sega. Wow.
Oh wow. I guess they are still in the sports game, huh?
Oh goodness. Oh, and also it's $125. Oh, sorry, not 125. It's 125 rand in my region. I don't know what 100 rand is in America, but yeah, it's very cheap, dirt cheap. Really.
Well, usually sports games are cheap, so I wouldn't doubt that. Considering how often they come out, but hey, you know what? I might just buy it. I might just buy it just to see what it's like.
Yeah, and I like the look of it because it looks like it's very arcadey. And I don't like the way a lot of like sports games have been trying to lean too much into simulation.
Oh
They've
yeah,
kind of taken all the fun out,
yeah.
you know?
You know what's actually funny you mentioned that because I actually just started playing FIFA again, right? Because I've been getting into soccer because of
Okay.
MLS. I believe I told
Football.
Yeah.
Football. That's why they call it
No,
FIFA,
yeah.
not CISA. Right? They call it FIFA,
Yeah.
not CISA. This guy.
No,
You're
I
the
know.
only
I
one
know.
laughing here. So, all right, let's go.
But anyway,
I'm sorry. It's just that topic specifically really gets to me. I'm sorry.
No, I know you're a person. I know you're a very, very personal person about football. There
we go.
No, I call it football. I prefer to call it football. But you know, here in the States, they kind of mentally trained us to call it soccer. So it's kind of hard to get out of that. But anyways, but yeah. So I recently got back into FIFA, and yeah, all they're talking about trying to make the games realistic, but the AI is just so stupid. So like, where is this money going to? The game's not getting any better.
Yep, monetization, brother. That's where it's all going.
But going on from your first game, so if that was your first game, what was your favorite game that you've ever played?
You know, I asked this question to everyone that guests on my show, but that's a lot of pressure. You know what?
Well, it's time. It's time a guest flips it on you.
Yeah. The greatest one-off game that I've ever played that I would recommend to anyone, right? Just a one-off masterpiece. Metal Gear Solid 3.
Really? 3?
Yes. If you would give me the latitude to pick a franchise, I would say Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? That for me, that's the best collection of video games ever. Just for me to like show you or to explain how much I think it's great. Spider-Man's coming out.
Yeah.
And it's 3 days before Metal Gear. I can only afford to buy one. I would rather buy Metal Gear than buy the new Spider-Man. And the new Metal Gear it's not even the new thing. It's essentially just giving us access to the previous Metal Gear games, except for the fourth one. They haven't changed. They haven't spruced up anything. They haven't modernized anything. Essentially, just giving us access, and I'm gladly going to pay for it. And if they charged me $100, I would pay for it.
So what you're saying is you shill out to Konami just because of Metal Gear alone.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
That's what I'm saying.
that's pretty interesting. I mean, I personally wouldn't, considering if because these new re-releases they're not really enhanced at all. So like, I don't really care for that because I want them to be upgraded. I want them to look like I want them to look more
Mm,
modern. But
yeah.
I guess if you're personal about that series, then that's your connection. The same goes for me when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. I will shill out as much money as I can just to get them physically and get like the collections.
Please explain Kingdom Hearts to me. For the love of
I
everything that is holy.
I've already have
I've
explained
always
it to
wanted
you.
to understand. Sorry?
I've already have explained it to you. You've asked me. Oh no. I think I'm mistaking that for Hamsel. I think you asked me this question actually. But you know what? I'll give you some detail. So practically, what Kingdom Hearts is, it's practically a game that's about friendships. Just to shorten it,
It,
practically,
pr- practically what?
it's a game about friendships.
Right.
That's
Um,
basically the gist of it. I'll sure there is big details. It's mostly about Sora making friends.
um, yeah, sounds like can't miss material. Hey, I'm not trying to judge. I'm not trying to judge. Hey, I like what Nelson said in the chat. He said I would have paid 200, no problem. There we go. Quality.
God damn, two
Quality. You can't put a
hundred.
price on that. Yes, I would have paid 200. I would have paid 200, no problem.
Well, I mean, if you're willing to pay that much, yeah, that's sure. Everyone
It's a
is open.
so wouldn't you pay like, let's say the guys that make Kingdom Hearts decided to make a super mega collection. Because one thing I do know about Kingdom Hearts is that your guys' games are super segregated in terms of platforms. You don't have access to everything on your PS5, on your Xbox.
Now we do. Before that wasn't the case.
Oh, explain, please.
Well, all the games now are just like available via the collections now, and since they're like with the Kingdom Hearts release, they're releasing everything on the same systems, So it's no longer exclusive to one system. Like you don't have to go buy one game for the DS, one game for the PSP, one game for the PS2. You know?
Oh, there's now a collection with everything.
Yeah.
And
They.
did you buy it?
Oh, I bought the originals when they released like the remastered collections for the PS3, which they did like two versions of, and then they did like one version for the PS4, and then they released all three. Well, for the first two available on PS4.
Mm.
So now it's all, and because they made those games multi-platforms to PC and Switch and Xbox, now you can buy those games on every platform.
Mm. Okay, and okay. So my version is that it came out like the PS3 version that you bought. That's how I feel about this one.
Wait,
That's the way you bought, because
yeah.
I'm guessing you bought the PS5, the PS3 collection without a second thought, correct? You just went in and
Uh,
like day one.
well, not day one. Because I was kind of late to the console gaming, right? So didn't
Oh,
really
okay.
be playing my PS3 that much when I got it as a kid, because I'm a early 2000s kid, right? Because I was born in 1998. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So my first console was a PS2, but it wasn't really mine. So I didn't really have too many gaming opportunities, and the games I did have were all because of my dad, because he was the one that would buy the video games for the PS3. So what we had
Mm,
then was all I had to play, like in general, until I had enough to actually buy Kingdom Hearts.
okay.
So yeah,
Interesting.
so I wasn't a day one adopter when it came to video games. Now I am because I
Mm.
had the money, but yeah.
All right.
But yeah, okay.
Mm.
So if Metal Gear is your favorite franchise, what's your What's your most hated franchise or your least favorite?
My least favorite franchise, a franchise that grates my tits.
Yeah, because we always have to have those. We always
Oh,
have to have one of those games that makes us so upset that like we regret buying it.
well, I've never bought anything I didn't like. Well, okay, no, you're right. Something that I regret buying. I regret buying The Last of Us Part 2, but I don't hate the franchise. So that doesn't count. Um Franchise that I hate. You know why this is so difficult to me? It's not because I hate many franchises, because I don't actively put much energy into things I hate. So even just keeping a list, is kind of like wasted energy for me. Okay, I can tell you a genre that I actively dislike. Is that cool?
I mean,
And then maybe from there
that's
we
a
can
bit
find.
that's a bit cheating.
All right, fine, fine. A franchise I hate. World of Warcraft.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I dislike it. It it's supposedly this great thing, but I've never been able to enjoy it.
so is that
But
just
I've
cause
seen.
is that just World of
Sorry.
Warcraft, or does that go for like most MMOs? Because like,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could say most MMOs. Yeah. Okay, you know what I fucking hate? Fortnite. I hate Fortnite. I really dislike it. Now that we're talking about it, I have a problem with Fortnite.
okay, interesting. Give me your reasons.
Um, I just think it's a symptom of everything wrong in the gaming as a whole. And this is definitely me being an old man screaming at the sky. Um, I'm serious. I don't like games that don't have a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay, you
That
know what? I could understand that. I mean, I'm certainly not a big fan of live action games, so or not live service games.
live service. Yeah. So that's the first part of why I hate it. The second part is the monetization. Sure, Bethesda put it out there, right? They're the ones who were the first ones to start with all this stuff. But then Fortnite took it to a whole nother level. And I don't like the fact that the game is now secondary. The game is a vehicle that delivers the money to the people that make the games or that publish the games. The game is not the priority, and that's what pisses me off. I sometimes get physically sick just every time I buy a game and then I see a cash shop getting pushed on me. I hate it. I just want every game to be like Baldur's Gate if you're going to charge me. You want monetization, then don't charge me the entry fee.
Just
Fine.
just charge you directly, like a direct fee.
Yes.
I'm
Like,
I like that too because I kind of hate now that games monetize up the wazoo for things like just basic skins. It's come to the point where like this stuff used to be free in multiplayer where you can actually earn it before, but now it's behind a paywall.
yeah,
So either
yeah.
you miss out on it because of the season passes, or you have to wait until however long they put it back, or
Yep.
either at that point you just
And
don't have the time to play the game and earn it.
don't forget they always say that it's not going to come back. It's going forever.
Yeah,
But it's really not.
And
It's
eventually,
not.
eventually
They
these games get
say
shut
that shit.
down too. So it's like they'll be gone forever. You'll never have access
No,
to it.
no. I'm talking about the stuff that they monetize. They always say, this I don't know, this Naruto skin is available
For
only
like,
now in season 12.
oh no, yeah,
It's never
yeah,
coming
you're,
back again.
yeah. If it,
Bro, by season 22, the shit is back.
yep. Yep,
And they do
I've
it
seen
on
Fortnite do
purpose.
that, especially like with the Star Wars stuff, where they
Yeah.
brought it back for a while when they did like collaboration with one of the most recent Star Wars shows, or whatever, The Mandalorian. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's not get started on Star Wars as a whole, otherwise I'll get triggered. But yeah, there you go. I answer your question. That's why that's a franchise that I despise with every fiber of my being.
you know
It's
what?
it feels
I can
like
respect that.
nothing. It feels like nothing, Kelly. Like there's no substance in Fortnite, but it makes all this money. And I sit there and I'm like, is this maybe a reflection of us gamers? Are we empty? Are we vapid? Do we not need a direction? What all we need is numbers ticking over. That's all we need. And we're satisfied. We're throwing money at it.
Well, I don't think we are necessarily like because like me and you don't like this trend, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this community don't like that trend either. But there's a lot of
But we
casual
don't
people
represent.
that don't care.
And they're the ones who represent gaming.
Yeah, it's a casual fam.
We,
It's a
me and you,
casuals.
me and you need to accept this. Me and you need to make peace with it. We do not speak for the gaming community.
I mean, I don't need
We
to
speak
accept it. I could just go back.
for
I could
stuff.
just go back to older consoles and play those games.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Essentially, that's what they're forcing us. Well, there is hope at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly Rex and Kelly Rexettes. There is hope because Larian Studios has shown us the way forward.
You know what? You know what? Actually, going off that point, I'm actually gonna pivot to this other common question I like to ask people because I always like to think that like gaming is kind of in a weird spot right now. Like, sure, you have like your EAs, your Activisions that will fuck up gaming forever and introduce these monetization features, but then you have like your independent studios that are doing really great things for the indie community and for gaming
Yes.
overall. And I think Larian is a good example of that because they're not owned by any major company. They're still independent and they still
Yep.
self-publish. And what they put out was just like a really great game, and you don't get that nowadays because games end up coming out so broken. So for me, it's studios like Larian that still give me hope that gaming is still going to be good. But do you think gaming is
Yes.
going in a completely terrible direction, or do you think it's still good?
I think gaming is fine. And everyone talking about because a lot of people have been talking in the gaming community about like consolidation. Yes, consolidation, because this is apparently going to kill everything, and um, creativity will die, etc., etc. The way I see it is, if this was true, right, then gaming would have become stale in the 90s. Because if you remember, there was the gaming crash in the 80s, and then Nintendo resuscitated gaming, right?
Yeah,
And then in the 90s, Sega rocked up, PlayStation rocked up. You think they weren't making acquisitions back then? You think they weren't doing scummy moves back then? It was all going down the same way it's happening now.
I'd argue the
In
levels are
my
different
opinion.
now because back,
Yes.
but considering now with like these big acquisitions like the levels of Embracer buying like these big studios or Microsoft buying Activision, et cetera, like I think the scale has changed dramatically compared to like in compared to like when like a player like Sony would enter into the gaming industry, where they bought up Psygnosis, who was a pretty big publisher in the UK at the time.
So for me, the reason why it's not going to change anytime soon, or it's not going to fall apart, is that customers will always wake up and rebel.
Yeah,
Sure, we're going to rebel when the situation is dire, when it's like terrible. That's when we're going to rebel. But we're going to do it, and then the industry will reset itself. We've already had one crash, and then gaming came back. We're just gonna have another one, and then we'll come back, and another one, and come back. Why is it that gaming, although we compete with music, movies, sports, etc., why is it that we think ourselves exempt from the highs, the super highs? But so sorry, why is it that we can enjoy the super highs, but we're exempt from the lows? Why is that? It's not possible. It's not possible. It's an inevitability. In fact, the fact that it's happened already tells us it's going to happen again. So personally, I'm not worried about gaming. I'm worried about hardware. That's what I'm worried about, because when the whole crash happened with Nintendo, a lot of people had their base consoles from like years before, right? So that could tide them over for 2 3 years. I don't know what the next crash is going to be like. Is it going to be a financial crash? Because if it's a financial crash, then we're fine. But is it going to be a technical crash? Because if it's a technical crash, then we're in trouble. There was a solar flare reported by NASA a couple of months ago that missed us, but there's another one that's apparently coming sometime next year. If it hits us, there's a good chance that everything blacks out, everything electronic on the planet blacks out, and then it has to restart. That's fine for like electricity, but what about servers? What about all this DRM heavy stuff that we already use on our PCs and consoles? Imagine one of
it,
these
that
flashes
actually,
hits us.
at that
Sorry,
point,
go
I
ahead.
usually like to think that like because of like these live service games, like those servers would just like completely just stop operating at that point. They shut down. You know,
But it's not just the live service games
no,
that
no,
get
yeah,
affected.
yeah, yeah. Because y'all,
Because you look at the DR,
yeah,
your profile, right? Like my profile on PlayStation right now, log 7, with how many, with all the keys that are attached to my console, to my profile to access these games. In theory, there's a possibility we could all lose our libraries.
yeah. Same thing with Steam.
Then what?
Once you get logged out of it, you can't access your games until you log back in.
And then what? You
And
see?
yeah,
That's where like that's what I'm worried about in terms of gaming hardware. So
I
I
don't
hope
know.
that answers
I
your
don't think
question.
hardware has reached that point because like like you're still able to play. You're still able to play the games technically. I don't know how if Xbox does, but like when PlayStation, like if you're not connected to the internet, you can still play the games. Same with Nintendo, but that's still I don't think we're gonna reach that point yet until these consoles go full digital.
Let's hope. Let us hope. But yeah, in general, I'm not really worried about gaming. I'm chill, man. I'm chill.
All right, that's
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean,
Anything,
I only asked
anything.
that. I
You
only
know,
asked that because there's a lot of people going out on YouTube making these videos like gaming's gonna have another crash or like the
which
industry.
is also fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'd like to quote my favorite movie franchise, The Matrix. There's a part where Agent Smith says, "Everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo." Why?
I like that. I like that quote actually.
Why? What level of arrogance? Huh? Think about this, Kelly. This is now like a philosophical question. What level of arrogance do you have to 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 not accept that something that you love could die one day or will die one day? That's
Hmm.
crazy because there's
Yeah.
nothing that has ever lasted forever. And video games, right? Video games are a construct made by people. People are finite.
Well, I mean, technically,
You can
art
only
art in general, like, well, art by artists like the Mona Lisa stuff like that have lasted forever because of preservation.
but that's not okay, sure. You can preserve it, but it's still degrading. It's just degrading at a slower rate.
Fair.
I saw the documentary about
Although,
preservation of art
although,
on Netflix. I
although,
think it was last year or the year before.
although, I would make the argument like
Yeah.
preserving stuff like films and music has become easier, though, since dig- this digital age has helped that. That's why we get
Yes,
a
it's
lot.
become easier.
Yeah, so I'd
But
say,
there's drawbacks to that because a a tape, right? A cassette tape, you can store it and then you can play it 10,000 years from now
yeah,
if you store it correctly. And a hard drive is not they're not very reliable long term.
I agree. I agree. Yeah,
There's a like film is way more reliable long term, and I'm talking like really long term, not like 50
yeah.
years or 100 years, I'm talking about thousands of years. Film is more reliable. The papyrus paper is more reliable. If you put it in a safe and then deprive it of oxygen, it will still degrade by an extremely slow rate. Well, that's what the documentary explained, right? The Netflix documentary
Okay,
talking
now,
about like preservation of the Mona Lisa and all this other stuff.
I may be interested
That's
in
how they
watching it.
keep it. That's how they keep it fresh.
Yeah.
They they put it in safes and shit. But yeah, in terms of like the future of gaming, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at
All
all.
right. Oh, all right. Now that we have that side covered, I guess that would be all
Mm.
for my gaming questions. To be honest, but I guess moving on from that, I guess now would be going into your own YouTube career. So I know you do multiple shows. So
I don't
uh,
have a YouTube career.
no, well, you have a podcast career. That's practically the same
Yeah,
when you're doing it on YouTube.
pretty much, pretty much, pretty much.
But how did you enter the world of podcasting? What got you into doing podcasts?
Um, I don't know if you noticed, but I like to talk about video games,
No, yeah,
and
that's clear from your passion.
yeah. So, but I like to have constructive conversations. I don't like arguing with people for the sake of it. I like to give something constructive and also take something constructive myself, from a conversation. So, how this whole thing started is I I used to talk to like my brothers. I still do, like to my brothers, my cousins, and then I got married, and then I started talking to my wife about video games, and she would just be like, "Dude, is there an off button?" You know?
You just ramble on and on about video games, huh?
Because you're and then you should explain like yours and stuff. Yeah, they also love video games, but they just have to deal with you for like 4 hours maybe a week. I live with you, motherfucker. This is not sustainable. You need to find an outlet and leave me alone, is what she was saying essentially. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should like I don't know, start a channel or do something, right? With the whole video game thing. And then I procrastinated like most people do, right? For a couple of months. And then one random ass day, some dude called Ham Solo invites me to a party on Xbox. What was I playing? I think I was playing Gears. Yeah, I was playing Gears of War. And then we started talking. And it turned into a whole fucking thing. Like I think we started talking like my time, right? I don't know what time it was on his side. But my time, we got into the live, it was about 9 p.m. and we spent the whole night talking. The wife was even like, "Who are you talking to? Is it a woman? What's her name?" And I was like, "No, it's a guy." And she didn't believe me. Like at midnight, because I think 3 hours had gone by midnight. She took the headphones from me. She's like, "Nah, dude, I need to hear. I need to make sure that this is a dude." And she's like, "Hello." And there was an awkward moment with Ham being like, "Hi, I'm Ham." and she spoke with him for a few minutes to make sure like his accent wasn't fake. It's like, "Oh, okay, he's a real American. Okay, sure. Go ahead and continue to talk to you to this this American about video games." So we had this long ass conversation, bro. It was like a Friday, and we ended it. It was at like 6 in the morning. The sun was coming
Jeez.
up on my. I'm serious, dude. The wife woke up and she's like, "Dude, you can't do this. Tell me, are you gay? Just be honest with me. Did you have you always
I'm
wanted
gonna
to be with
say.
that?"
So it started off like a little bromance moment right there, huh?
For real, for real. And I was just like, "Yo, me and this guy, maybe it's just me, but I had a lot of fun. I wasn't yawning. We were just chatting. We had arguments. We fought." And then there was even moments where like we disagreed on something very passionately. And then he was playing on his end. I was playing on my end. And we weren't talking to each other for like 10 minutes in silence, just angry about what the other guy said. But we didn't leave the party chat. And then something happened on his end. Then I'd ask him, like, "Hey, what's happening on your end?" And then he'd tell me, I'd start laughing, whatever. And the conversation would continue. Next thing I know, it's 6 in the morning. Wife is asking me, like, "Do you like dudes? Be honest. We can just end this here, get a divorce or some shit." And so I was like, "Ham, I need to go because I might end up single if this conversation continues." And And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm also getting awkward looks from my woman. We'll chat. We'll chat." We exchanged Twitter profiles, phone numbers, etc. And then, dude, every time I would play games, it was with Ham. And because of our time difference, right? What would happen is like one Friday, he would acquiesce and we would get on when it's convenient for me. So like 6 p.m. my time, that's when he'd hop in. Then the Friday after that, he'd hop in. No, I would hop in like midnight my time because it would be more convenient for him because of his like local time or whatever time difference, etc. So we this happened for like excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you, thank you. This happened for like a month, right? And then we were just like, "Dude, let's do a fucking podcast." Because we were having such a blast just talking about video games. It was me and him chopping it up.
So just like that.
And
Just,
just like that, we're like, "Dude, let's do a podcast."
so,
Like, yeah, okay, let's do a podcast. Let's come up with a name and all this other stuff. And then it went from 0 to 100.
huh. So even with like no YouTube experience, you just wanted to do a podcast because you
Nothing,
guys, huh?
nothing. We were
Real.
just like, "Dude, I like doing, I like meeting up with you and talking about video games. And we have such a good time. Wouldn't it be fun if we could do that with like 50 other people?"
Oh God, that would be a chaotic type of show. But
No, like the
no,
50,
no, yeah.
the 50 we were talking about was like in the chat and stuff.
Oh no, yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, because if we're talking audio wise, that would be just insane.
Oh no, yeah.
Anyway, So we talked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, let's fucking do it." And then we came up with names and shit. I will not be sharing who named the show, who named the channel, etc. It's 50-50 all the way. So I'm just getting ahead of it. Don't even ask me like who named the channel, who named the shows. Don't ask. You can ask me what they mean, sure, but
Okay.
that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, we decided to start the pod, and I still remember the first time we fucking started that thing. Sorry for my French. I still remember the first time we started, and legit, legit in the chat was his wife, my wife, and my two sons. His daughter wasn't in there because she's too young. But literally, those were the only people watching our pod
It just
for
started
like
out.
a month.
So it was just like your family just supporting you guys.
And they were dropping off like flies. There were few to begin with, but then they just dropped all the way off.
And
And
then there
then
was nothing.
it was just you look at the YouTube page, and then it's like two people watching, and you know that the two people watching is me and Ham. So no one was watching, bro.
You had to start
No
out.
one.
You had to start out somewhere, I guess. But
I'm telling. But what made it easy or easier, in my opinion, was the fact that we how can I put this? Like, it's important to have people there watching,
yeah,
right?
without
It is
without an
important. I'm not gonna
audience,
be.
honestly, the stream wouldn't be like as fun to do. But
I'm
because
not
you had
going
that,
to be disingenuous about that. Yeah, yeah. But I'm telling you, man, the person or the people that you decide to do it with, they change the entire outlook of it, because it was just me and Ham. But again, the same way we were in the party chat for hours, and we missed it, right? And there was
hold
no
on,
one
I think
watching,
your
and we
mic.
had
I
a
think your
good
mic is
time.
acting up again. It's doing that
God
staticky
damn
noise.
it! Hold on. Is it still staticky now?
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, I think it went away. Yeah, there we
What
go.
about now?
You're good.
All right. So I was saying, um, because the foundation was just 100% pure love, and I'm not even saying this like to be facetious or anything. I genuinely like hanging out with Ham. I also like hanging out with Cozy. I also genuinely like hanging out with Mad Likes Games. Like, I like it. I look forward to it. So what happened was, when no one was watching and it was just me and Ham, because we enjoyed each other's company so much, it didn't matter at all.
Hmm.
We weren't even focusing on who's watching. It was just
You're just having
us
fun with it at that
coming up
point.
with topics. Yeah, it was us coming up with topics like, yo, I can't wait to chop it up with Ham when Friday rolls around. It wasn't, damn, our engagement numbers, they're not moving. People hop onto the pod for like 5 seconds and then they leave and they think we're boring. This and that. No, dude. It was just, I every single time I get off the pod till today, every single time I turn off the pod and I leave the Discord, I have a big smile on my face and my cheeks hurt from all the smiling and laughing I was doing. It's almost like personal therapy, you know? So we did that for a couple of months. People started trickling in. One person, 5 people, 10 people. And what one thing that we promised we would always do, me and Ham, is we're not going to change who we are as people because we want more people to come and watch the show. So you'll see some moments where Ham is genuinely annoyed with me, and he doesn't save it for like the post show credit cuts. The same way he would talk to me in the party chat was just me and him. That's exactly how he does it live, and that's the same way with me as well.
Yeah, I
I
definitely get
don't
that.
even
I
have to
definitely get that
ask.
feel from watching your guys' show. Like when you two are together, and you two like just like do your little banter back and forth with each other. It definitely just does come
Yeah,
off like a genuine conversation instead of like
or
having like
argument.
yeah.
Yo,
And I think that's
because
what's
when I disagree,
I think that's what's entertaining about watching you two. It's like you just both have like that chemistry together that works so well with each other.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, as far as the whole career thing is concerned, that happened after. My main focus, my main goal, if I'm being 100% honest, is I wanted someone to chop it up with about video games. That was my goal. I found Ham, and I was just grateful to have someone, a kindred spirit. So this goes back again. I'm repeating myself, but I think it's necessary. It goes back to the whole console war thing. I'm like, dude, there's so few people that feel the way we feel about this hobby that we have. And even in those few, you still want to reduce the number. You still want to bring it down and be like, I don't interact with that guy because of X. It's just wild to me. So my goal really was just I need someone to chat with. I need someone that I read all these articles because I don't read the articles for the show. I have always read the articles, and I would lose my mind reading this stuff, listening to this stuff, playing these things. I would always lose my mind, and I have to say it to someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to speak my opinion on this specific subject to someone. It just happened to be my poor wife. So
At least in the early days.
yeah, so when I found Ham, for
You found
me
that outlet. Yeah.
that was Valhalla. Everything after that was just gravy. So that's why when you ask me about my career, it's kind of like I don't really welcome it that much because now it's an evolved view, or it's a view that evolved. But I like to hold on to the core principle. The career, it's definitely there. I look forward to one day legit making enough to make a living off of fucking chatting to my best friend. You know what I mean? I look forward to it. So one day we make enough money on TSWS that we can do shows from Monday to Friday. And based off of those shows, based off of those revenues, I'm paying bills. That would be like beyond the dream.
I think that's the dream
But
for everyone when they start a YouTube career or when they do podcasting. It's like you kind of want to make it a living at one point, but for now
you know,
we just all do
I've
it for the
seen,
fun of it.
but Kelly, I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Then there's a good chance that I'm wrong. Um, I feel like a lot of people are, aren't here because of the loving the core principle of what they're doing.
You think it's just an obligation then? Like some people do it out of
No,
no.
no. I think a lot of people just they chase a trend. The
I
whole podcasting thing
I can definitely
is a
see that
trendy thing
point.
right now.
I can definitely see that point, but you definitely don't stick to YouTube if you're not passionate about it, though. Right? I mean, like,
For me, I would say you wouldn't stick to it at all.
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna name names, but I've seen a lot of people jump in and then quickly jump out. And then they change their shtick and then they try and jump in again. And then they jump out again. So you're not here for the art of it. You are here to maximize monetization.
For me personally, I
That's all.
mean, like
That's all I wanted to
for
say.
me personally, I'm here for the fun of it. I just enjoy doing YouTube, and I think I don't know if you could tell, but like I definitely try my best to put in all my effort into the stuff I do, and I think my viewers can see that from like what I do with my shows, like
Dude,
how I
hosting a show is tough.
yeah
Like, you don't have to tell me that you're dedicated. Host
yeah
when I found out that you're the one who does the hosting, but you also do the design for every guest, hey,
I'm a creative
that's
individual.
crazy.
I'm a creative individual, and I really like to dedicate my time to creating stuff. So yeah. So
No, no,
for me, it's the
that's
passion.
dedication. That's dedication. That's not just putting stuff on a screen, bro.
Yeah,
You have to open another app and then like design your guest. That's crazy.
yeah. Well, right now I'm kind of running into some tricky spots with guests I want to have on who don't have any like
Yeah.
logos or pictures. So I'll see what I'll do about
Oh my
that.
god.
But for now, I'm
Well,
happy doing it.
until then, just you just know that this is not the last time you're going to use my logo or my avatar. So
All right.
I will be back.
Hopefully,
Jeez.
but
Yeah, but seriously, when you told me that you make these yourself in dreams, I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's not even dedication anymore. Like,
oh
I
no.
fear for your health, man. What happened?
Well,
You telling me?
to be fair, I've mentioned this before, where I mentioned this behind the scenes to Flamish, so he knows, and he's in the chat right now, so he can back me up. But I've said this: I will cut corners here and there, while we'll use assets that are already made in Dreams. But for the most part, I try to recolor everything. I'll try to find stuff that fits, that'll look like the person, that'll look like their avatar. So for the most part, I do try to put everything together, but I will use pre-made assets in order to do that. So it doesn't have to take as much time on my part.
Kelly, you're still putting in the work. You still have to
Yeah.
go to Dreams. You still have to compile it. You still have to color it. You still have to model it. And you still have to you have to extract it and put it into whatever it is that you're using now to then project it onto YouTube every single week with a different template or a different guest. That's just, ooh, like I'm tired for you, man.
Well, thanks for the sympathy, my friend.
Yeah, like I'm impressed, but damn, dog, do you sleep? Well,
Yes.
how many hours do you sleep?
Well, I usually go to bed at like 1:30 or 1:40. I don't wake up until
Up
like
at what time?
uh I usually sleep at 1:30 p.m. and then wake up at like 7:20, 7:15 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I do get my hours of
That's
sleep.
wild. Yeah, yeah, that's wild.
But
Yeah, so I'm very impressed with the setup you have, especially considering it's a one-man team.
oh no,
That's
yeah.
impressive for me.
Thank you. But I don't. But anyways, this show isn't about me. This show is more about the guests. but like, I actually want to know, what was the first show you actually started though with Ham Solo? Because you guys been working together a lot. I know you guys do.
We used to
I know you guys do Twin Stick
we
Gaming, but what was the first show you guys did together?
it's not twin stick, it's they said we said
Oh, is
gaming.
that what it stands for? I thought that was Twin Stick. I thought it was the Twin
Yeah.
Stick one. Oh, my bad.
No. No, no, it's TSWS. I think twin stick is someone else.
Oh, my bad.
It's cool. It's cool. We first started off with we called it big, but yeah, our big Sunday show. We used to have a show on Sundays. That's how we started. I don't remember what time it was. I just remember that yeah, again, it was just me and Ham. And then his wife actually guested on a couple of those shows. No, no,
Really?
no. Actually, no, 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 no. hold on. Correction. His wife hosted the show.
Wow. Okay.
She hosted the show. Oh my god, just thinking about it brings like goosebumps. I need to go rewatch those episodes.
That
Oh
must
my
have been
god,
very entertaining.
the audio was so rough. Yes, his wife hosted the show and essentially bounced things off of us, like topics and stuff, and she kept us in line and blah blah blah. It was interesting because she's like a casual gamer
Yeah.
and we are like the hardcore gamers. So she would sometimes ask us questions and then she'd also put in her 2 cents and bring the perspective of someone that really doesn't take this stuff as seriously as we do. you know? So it kind of brought us back to earth and brought about like very funny moments and oh my goodness, bro. Thank you so much, man. Like you're making me reminisce about the founding of TSW. That was wild. That was so but it was very chilled. It was very chilled. We started off with that show and then we we transitioned to we didn't transition, we added bullsitting on Fridays,
Yeah.
right? Um as a less formal, show because the Sunday show was more like serious and focused. We were like, let's do something that's just off the cuff on Fridays. What happened was we had like a ton of people coming through to watch the Friday show. And then the Sunday show, people like half the people wouldn't even be there. And the ones that were talking about, oh, what happened on Friday, that was fun, and just talking about Friday stuff or talking about I can't wait till next Friday. And then me and Ham were just like, you know what? Let's just make the Friday show the main show. And after doing that, we came up with the idea for Behind Them Sticks to like interview gamers, but it wouldn't work, if it was two people trying to interview people in gaming. The whole interview thing works best if it's one person. And Ham is 100% like between me and him, he is 100% better at not being abrasive. Ham is
Like better than you?
very cool. Yes, at not being abrasive, because I'm very abrasive. You're not going to say shit to me, and then I'm just gonna swallow it and nod and be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So just with that, it just makes sense for Ham to be the one owning the whole Behind Them Sticks thing,
Hmm.
and I think he has done a marvelous job. I believe that single-handedly, there's probably like 100, 200 people that have followed TSWS just because of Behind Them Sticks. And I also believe that eventually Ham's going to get the opportunity to interview Jim Ryan, which is going to be fabulous. That's my dream. I think it's going to happen one day. I'm willing it into existence. Jim Ryan on TSWS live with Ham Solo.
Big
You
Daddy
heard it here
Sony,
first.
Jim Ryan. Hmm.
You heard it here first.
Well,
Uh,
I wish you good luck with that guest.
yeah. So after Behind Them Sticks, we saw the necessity to have another show on Tuesdays. The Lowdown, which was even more, which is supposed to be even more like off the cuff than bullsitting, because we even bring in like we talk about movies at the beginning, sports, and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, it's an even more chill vibe, if that's even possible, than bullsitting. Um, Wednesdays, Ham used to have the solo show, but he stopped doing that and is now like doing. He's a he's co-hosting a show with Matt on Matt's channel. And then on Mondays, now he's also uh, on K Mega's show doing the crossover. Sometimes it's on TSWS, sometimes it's on K Mega 405's channel.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Ham's doing a lot right now.
a lot, a lot.
And so are you, because you were also on Doom Show for a while, and now you transitioned into Wise's show.
Yes, yes, yes.
How did you get started on Doom Show?
Um. Oh God, I really don't remember how that happened. Oh my God.
You
Nelson, don't you go tattletale. Don't go and tattletale on me. Nelson's gonna go tell him. This guy doesn't even remember.
really?
Get him off the show. I'm serious. I don't remember how this even happened. I just know that one day I woke up and I was there. I don't remember.
Just like that.
I'm serious. I'm serious. It's like asking, yeah, so when was the first day the sun appeared? It's like, bro,
Like, I don't remember.
has it always been there? Nah, I'm serious. I don't remember. I have no idea what happened. I just know that I'm on. I was on Doom's show, and it
Wait,
works perfect for me because it's right after bullsitting on Fridays.
well, you know what?
So
For your hope, or for my hope for you is, since Doom's a
yeah.
good friend of this channel, hopefully he just skips this episode.
Oh my God.
Doesn't see this part.
He's going to fucking kill me. It's bad enough he sent me a package a couple of months ago, but it actually didn't make it to Mozambique.
No?
And then I found out, no, it didn't. It didn't. I found out the hard way that when you send stuff from like Europe or the US, but you don't use like the premium delivery systems or companies like DHL and all this stuff, you it's a crapshoot. You're essentially playing the lottery. The stuff might arrive or it might get stolen by government employees. So whatever Doom sent me, I know it has something to do with like books and stuff for Gears of War and Halo and stuff, and it didn't make it. The tracking system online says it has arrived, but it didn't arrive here.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
That is
So
terrible.
yeah, the reason I didn't know this is because Ham and I can't say who. There's a couple of publishers that have sent me some stuff. Um, Ham sent me some stuff several times, but it was on like exclusive, like it was like UPS or whatever. It wasn't the free postal service that you guys use, the government postal service.
Yeah.
So it was a bit more expensive, but everything he sent me got here. And everything anyone has ever sent me over like DHL and FedEx or whatever has arrived.
Huh. So you really can't trust the government over there, huh?
Literally. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not racism. Okay, it's just the reality on the ground.
Nelson
It's all
is asking, how does he know?
How does he know what?
I'm not too sure.
Oh God, I think he's asking, how do you know I'm going to tell Doom? Oh God.
Hey,
Whatever.
we're telling you not to tell Doom. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And Doom's been missing like Wise's episodes. Now, magically, Doom's gonna be there next Friday. Thanks, Nelson. I appreciate you. This guy.
But, but yeah, I can't believe about the packaging situation though. I can't even imagine. I mean, here we kind of have like a running joke with our postal service here in America that they just will randomly lose our packages. Like
Yeah.
we'll mail them to somewhere, and then they'll just
Mm-hmm.
randomly disappear.
And no one knows where it's at.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, this side it's even more consistent. If you're going with the government, I don't
Kiss
know,
that
man.
shit goodbye.
I don't know. Like you might get it, but the odds are not with you.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Ooh. Thank you for that good laugh there, but yeah.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. My heart is broken,
Even
but you
Nelson's
hear me,
laughing in the
I
chat now because of what we were talking about with Doom.
uh,
You know Nelson like a book, huh?
yes, I've known Nelson for a minute.
But
Also, quick question, Nelson, are you game sharing with anyone on PlayStation? Because I need someone to game share with. I wanted to game share with Flemish, but he already has someone.
ah,
Uh yeah.
but okay. So I guess we can move on to our next subject. So I guess
Let's go.
how it's been how have you enjoyed your journey in podcasting though? Like, have you enjoyed doing these shows? Like, or has it started
Yes.
becoming like has it started feeling more like a job to you, where like it's not as fun, but you still like doing it?
Um no. I still have like tons and tons and tons of fun. My
Really?
only complaint my only complaint is that I have to do it at ungodly hours because Americans are more welcoming than Europeans.
You know,
I'll just have to put it out like that. I'm just saying, like the same way you reached out, I'm sure that's how I ended up on Doom's podcast. That's how I ended up on Wise's podcast. That's how I ended up on K Mega's podcast. I go on K Mega's show once a month as well. In general, for some reason, Americans are always willing to reach out and be like, yo, what's up? And that's not just podcasters, even publishers. If like a French publisher, I'm talking about my personal experience here, maybe I'm wrong, but if like a French uh, or or Italian publisher follows you on Twitter, they're just following you. That's Don't get the wrong idea. All right. Whereas if an American publisher or employee that works with PR follows you on Twitter, go ahead, DM them. Check what games their company sells, DM them and ask them, yo, how can I get me some codes? You know?
yeah. I mean,
And the American person, right, in this example, will at the very least say, yo, I just followed you because I think you're like a potential, but not right now. Or they'll just tell you like, yo, dude, here's the code. Can you please review it? These are the terms and conditions. Are you okay with this or not? And they'll keep it moving. With the European person, you will DM them and they'll just ignore you. They won't unfollow you. They'll just ignore you for like months. And then suddenly they'll DM the code for a game and the platform. It's cold, you know? It's kind of cold.
yeah.
At least that's how I've experienced it. So my one complaint from this whole podcasting thing is it's unfortunate that I can only do it at 2 in the morning. The podcast starts at 2 in the morning my time or
Ah.
3 in the morning. That's the only
Uh,
thing. If the hours were nice, oh my god, that would just be insane.
but sadly, they're not in your favor at this current moment.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
You see, I don't have that experience because I don't really have the pleasure of working with companies because I don't really like to be obligated to work on stuff, so I don't really try reaching out for that type of collaboration work with other companies. So I just am happy doing my own thing. But
Oh yeah.
but I mean, at least if you enjoy it, if you enjoy getting the codes and all that, then
Dude, I can't afford. I can't afford.
no,
You
yeah,
know that meme. You know
yeah.
that meme. That meme that says we don't have the capacity.
That's you.
I am that guy, bro. Like I want to play Baldur's Gate so bad right now. So freaking bad. I have the PS5. I can't afford it.
And
It's just
because
the
they're not with a
reality
major
of life.
publisher, they're not really giving out codes or anything like that either, right?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Well, maybe they are giving codes, but not to some random Mozambican. So
Hey,
yeah.
maybe try to do it like under the table, get them to do it, get them to send Ham Solo a code, and then he'll send you the code in reverse. That way you can do it.
No, that's like part of the T's and C's, man. You cannot
No,
outsource
I know.
the review or the code. You can't do that.
If only you could, though. That would still be great.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. Unless you like speak to the publisher themselves,
Yeah.
if they're okay with it. But off the jump, like most of the time, it's like we're giving you the code. We want Kelly Rex to play the game and give us his thoughts on it. Or you could do what ACG does. He gets codes and then he buys the game and then does a giveaway or something. But
Yeah.
he doesn't do that with the code that he got from the publisher.
Yeah, that is a better way
Some
of doing things because then you get more interaction with the viewers too. Because
Yeah,
since they get stuff for free, they'll interact with you more.
yeah. I'm not doing giveaways anytime soon. I'm trying to get games for me, bro. I haven't even started,
What? So you say
bro.
so no free game for your chat, huh?
No, actually. There's a $10 voucher, sure. But beyond that, no, dog. I'm the
Ah,
I need Baldur's Gate. All right.
uh, I understand the pain. I want to buy it, but I can't afford it because I'm having to save my money up for like retro games, and because buying old games
Yeah,
is so expensive for some reason.
price. That's
Yeah.
weird. They should be cheaper, right?
Oh hell yeah! Especially when you buy old games at GameStop, where they'll send it, where they'll probably charge like at most like 30, maybe $40. But on eBay, they'll
Oh,
charge
you
you like
buy
60
physical
to a
games.
100 games. Yeah, I buy physical
Damn.
games, so it's rough. It's very rough.
Yeah,
And
that
it,
is. Oof.
also, just to update my viewers here, I have actually been trying to get the original Armored Core games that released on PS3, which was Armored Core
Ooh.
or Answer, or answer something, and then Armored Core 4 and Armored Core 5, I believe. No, yeah, Armored Core 5. And then there's one more
Have
Armored
you
Core
finished
game.
6?
I have not bought it yet because I kind of wanted to buy the PS3 ones and play the
Oh,
originals before I played 6.
before you played 6. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because for
That
me, I
makes
like to
sense. That
dive
makes
deep into a series before I get into a later entry.
Yeah.
But with those
No,
games
it
go
makes.
up to $120 on eBay, so
God damn.
might have
And
to
there's
just
less and
emulate
less
it.
places selling it,
Yep, yep.
dude. The
Practically.
day I found out about emulation, that was the day I found out that, oh, so everything in gaming is a scam.
Essentially, when you put it like that.
Yeah, I'm serious. I was like, it's all a scam. We
Yeah,
don't need consoles.
you
Everyone just buy a PC.
practically. I mean, the only reason people buy consoles is just because they don't want to deal with PC gaming. That's just about it.
But
But even
I'm gonna
then,
get a gaming laptop.
oh, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
I I have to. I don't have another option
Oh,
at this
damn.
point.
That's a big
Cause
rip.
why is that a bad thing? Tell me.
Okay, the problem with gaming laptops is they overheat a lot and they don't really last as
Uh-huh.
much as an actual like computer tower, like an actual tower.
Okay.
And you can't
What's
customize it
the
as much either.
what's the time? Like, let's say I buy a beefy gaming laptop right now. What's the average
Well, you see,
lifespan?
I don't I've never owned a gaming laptop, but I've had a cousin that has had one before, and it lasted him like I want to say like 3 maybe 4 years, and then he finally got rid of it because it was kind of getting too much to handle.
I can deal with that. Right now, I just need to buy time because what happened was a couple of weeks ago, someone stole my laptop,
Oh damn!
and I didn't have like a gaming laptop. I had just a basic. It was a decent-ish laptop, right? But
Yeah.
it ran everything like the Discord and OBS, all this stuff that has to do with like podcasting and whatever. It did all that, and it was fairly fast, right? So when sometimes Discord can just kick your ass and you have to restart the laptop, or you have to restart your PC and restart Discord. The one that was stolen, it would take like what, 10, maybe 15 seconds to restart the whole thing. That was very fast for me,
Oh damn!
and I'm good with that. All right. So the gaming laptop, if it's at least that, and I sent the specs to him, and he confirms that it's not at least that. It's way better than what I already had. I'm not buying a gaming laptop so I can play Cyberpunk on it.
So you're buying it so you can have an easier time with your streaming capabilities, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
If I put
At
any
that point,
games on
that
it,
yeah, that's fair.
if I put any games on it, it's not going to be anything high end, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's going to be basic ass stuff because I travel a lot for work. I'm going to put, I don't know, I'll put like my rally games, for example. I like to play WRC games. You know what WRC is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm playing WRC right now. I abandoned Starfield because I'm sorry, Starfield, even when you're just trying to mindlessly run around, has a story to tell you. For fuck's sakes, there's NPCs. There's actual like important things happening, even if you're not following the main quest. So I was like, okay, let me get off. I'm playing WRC right now. I would install games like WRC, Tekken 8 when it comes out. I think Tekken 8 is gonna be a light game to run. So yeah, not like heavy stuff. I wouldn't put there.
All right.
So
That's
that's why I'm not
yeah.
worried right now.
All right. At that point, I can understand wanting to get a laptop for that. Just not like for like strictly gaming, cause yeah,
No, no, it's not my main gaming rig. That's
yeah.
not what it's for. No.
Cause my cousin when he was using his gaming laptop to strictly game, yeah, that's
Ooh,
what made it overheat so much because he was using it so consistently. So
yeah, yeah.
not to mention because of that
Now, for,
he had to leave it plugged in for a long periods of time.
yeah, and that doesn't help the battery.
Yeah.
For me, what I'm going to do, I've already decided I'm going to go full, like no, not full PC, but I'm going to invest a lot more in PC. But my priority is because of my work. I'm going to need to buy a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or something,
That's
and
actually
that's
pretty
going to
good.
be my main. Yeah, that's going to be my main gaming platform for like PC centric stuff.
All right, all right. And
Yeah.
what about when those things get outdated? Because like handheld devices can get outdated pretty quickly over time.
What's pretty quickly? Because again, this goes back to the whole discussion about people being worried of the health of video games.
Well, I don't know.
What's pretty
For
quickly
me,
for you?
it's like when like the video releases like a new graphics card, right? Like
Yeah.
their new tech tends to be better than their old tech, somewhat.
No, no. Look. Better stuff will always get released. I'm talking about in terms of what we're buying the peripherals for. So the Steam Deck, it currently plays all the games.
Can't play Starfield.
I don't think so. Well, it hasn't been tested, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been tested on Starfield. Let's wait for it to come out.
All right. That's fair.
So besides games that don't exist technically, right? Games
Yeah.
that aren't on PC right now, because even if you had the most powerful PC on the planet, you still can't play Starfield.
Yeah.
But the point is, for games that have been released, there's no game on PC that doesn't play on the Steam Deck. They'll play badly. The games that aren't verified, that are super demanding, they'll play badly, but they'll play. So I'm not stressed about it, honestly. And it's not my main platform. Mostly the Steam Deck or ROG Ally that I get, if I'm home, right, it's going to be accumulating dust. That's me being 100% honest, because I prefer the bigger screen and all that. And I've got multiple rooms with screens, so I'm not struggling for like, oh, I want to play my Xbox, but the wife is on the only TV in the house. That's not an issue for me. So I want those, but I don't really need them.
All right.
And when I get them, I'm only really gonna use them when I go for work trips, which sometimes I can go 2 months without traveling. Can you imagine buying a ROG Ally and then leaving it there for 2 months?
That'd be kind of pointless if you just leave it, take it with you on trips.
No, no, no. That's what I'm saying. And when I say leave it there for 2 months, I'm
Yeah.
saying the 2 months that I don't travel for
Yeah.
work, it's just there gathering dust. Because when I get home, I'm turning on the PS5, I'm turning on the Series X.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That's
Because
why I'm going for the gaming laptop first, because those two are cheaper. The ROG Ally and the Steam Deck are cheaper, but the laptop is more functional for what I want to do in
yeah,
terms of the podcast and whatever.
yeah. So it's just kind
Yeah.
of like what you need at that time, more to say.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can understand that. Well, for me, I don't really have to work because I have both the laptop for like work related stuff and a Steam Deck. So
Ooh,
whenever I go
look
somewhere.
at you.
Yes, I know. I know. I'm not trying. I'm not trying to flex. Believe it or not.
Nelson says the battery don't last long, less than Steam Deck. It has Windows, so all the Windows ads are always popping up and running shit in the background. Steam Deck is a gaming platform only. Yeah.
Yep, he's
Yeah.
not wrong
Don't
about
disagree with that.
that.
Yep. Don't disagree with that one.
I guess with
Which
that,
is why I'm prioritizing a laptop.
I guess that's pretty much all the topics I had to ask you. But I guess I should end it off on like with this last question. So, for anyone that wants to do a podcast or like start YouTube, would you have any like anything to suggest to them, like what they should do to start off? You know, with the experience that you
Be
have.
honest. Be honest with yourself. Do you really want to do it? And and can you see yourself doing it long term? Because
That-
if you love it, if you love it, then do it. Even if you don't see yourself, you know what? Actually, scrap everything I just said. The main thing is, do you love what you're going to talk about? Because the a misconception a lot of people have is that you have to be a good speaker to do the whole podcasting thing. I disagree. I think you need to have a subject you're passionate about. Passionate about is not something that you are really hot about right now. You really want to get something off your chest about Donald Trump right now. Don't do a politics podcast. Don't do that. You need to love every inch of whatever it is that you're going to dedicate your podcasting channel to. So you want to do a podcast on flowers, you better not be someone that just loves sunflowers. You better be able to talk about every single one of the flowers with the same detail, the same the same passion and the same oomph, you know, the same uh, the same gusto for all of the flowers. If you can answer that question honestly, right, truthfully to yourself, then start a podcast. Doesn't matter if you don't have a mic. Use the mic that comes with the headphone. You don't have a camera, no problem. Just put on a fucking black screen and start talking. And no matter how bad you sound, the only question you ask yourself at the end of the recording of the podcast, did I have a good time? Don't ask yourself if the chat had a good time. Don't ask yourself how many people watched it. Did you personally, the 2 hours you spent putting into this, do you feel like you benefited? Because if you did, then that's the most important thing. Was that too long?
No, I mean it's all like advice that you have to give. So, however long you think you it's however much information you
Could
think you
I
should
have
give.
gone
So,
for like 30 minutes? You wouldn't have stopped me if I wanted to go for 30 minutes.
I mean, maybe at that point I would have to cut it short.
You're like, bro, settle down.
Like this isn't a political speech. This is a podcast.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much, brother. That's a bit much.
But I really do appreciate you being on the show here, Luke, and I hope you had a good time doing this one-on-one type of show with me here today.
How long have we been on?
Let's see. What it says, I believe we've been on like at least an hour and like 30 minutes. Yeah, 37 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good because I haven't felt the hour. Honestly, it feels like we just started.
Well, yeah, that's tends to how the shows tend to be because, like, you know, it's more of a fun time just having a casual conversation, you know. And that's how I like to make our game.
Well, that's how your show is because I've been on some pods that I was like, damn, can this thing end already?
It's just like that scripted and that boring, huh?
Sometimes it's not even about it being boring or scripted. It's about the conversation being malicious. You know?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Well, yeah, if you're not having a conversation in good faith, I would rather argue with you in good faith than agree with you maliciously. I hope that makes sense.
I guess it kind of does in a way, like
Yeah.
But
because essentially this is just like hangout sessions.
yeah, practically.
And if you when the vibes just don't hit, which it's a human thing, you know, you cannot fake chemistry. If the vibes don't hit, bro, 1 hour feels like a month. It's like, can someone slit my wrists? I don't want to be here anymore if it's that bad. So for me personally, this was very fun. Um, I'm looking forward to being on again. And I don't know if we can discuss this live. You and Flemish, we were talking about him maybe uh, being an extra for future pods.
Yeah,
I
well,
wouldn't mind being an extra for future pods.
okay, you know what? I'll get to that as soon as I get your outro, actually. So, you know,
Okay.
so how about you get your outro out of the way then? Tell people where they can find you.
Before I do that, I am really enjoying World Rally Championship Generations.
You really like that game, huh?
No, I love most rally games, not all of them, because I've seen some terrible ones.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. I don't ask for a refund because I want to support as many rally games as I can. So I wanted to add, like, at the besides like enjoying WRC generations, I just want to say that I hope we get more games like this, and I hope more devs invest in games like this. I wouldn't mind like a career mode that was a bit more fleshed out story wise, even if it was something that looked like NBA 2K, you know. But yeah, that's the only thing really missing here, in my opinion. But if that was to be added at the cost of putting in microtransactions, then the games are fine exactly the way they are. Don't add anything. Leave microtransactions out. Yeah, that was my little soliloquy before doing my outro.
No, that's fine.
Uh, do you have anything to say about my outro? About what I just said with WRC and NBA 2K and stuff?
I mean, I'm not really into WRC because I'm more of a Need for Speed type of person. But
You don't like simulation that much.
practically, that's why I haven't touched Gran
Uh,
Turismo.
okay, okay.
But
So what did you think of Need for Speed Unbound?
honestly, I kind of thought it was okay-ish. Like, it wasn't my personal favorite Need for Speed. My favorite Need for Speed will always be Carbon.
Wow, I don't like Carbon at all.
I enjoyed it
Uh,
because I enjoyed the tracks and I enjoyed what they were trying to do with the mountains. Like, it didn't work out that great, but it was still something different. Of course, my all-time favorite series when it comes to racing will always be Midnight Club. Midnight Club is like the best series for me.
uh, you and Ham in Gotham. Uh,
What's wrong with? Well, like you
no,
don't like you're not a big fan of Midnight Club?
it's decent. It's decent. It's not the greatest race, in my opinion. It's not the greatest.
You need to
Um,
play the PS2 Midnight Club dub editions. The dub editions are like the best.
okay, I don't think I played that one. I think I played like the default Midnight Club,
Yeah, you see, the dub
and it
editions
wasn't
actually add more cars and I believe they add more maps too.
right.
So practically, you're
I
playing
wonder where
a complete edition.
one day. And you know, because of this trend of remastering
Well,
classics, it's only a matter of time.
I don't think Rockstar's gonna remaster that since they're stuck on GTA and Red Dead because
Red Dead,
they kind of just abandoned all their other IPs just for in favor of GTA and Red Dead.
psychos, man, just freaking psychos, which is unfortunate because uh, Rockstar has got some bangers
I
in their
know,
stable.
that's the sad part. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like some really great games there.
Also, when it comes to
But
your
going
little
back to
when it comes
yeah,
to your little sports rant there about like the microtransactions, yeah, I'm not a big fan either. That's why I didn't touch sports games for a long time.
oh, which was the last sports game that you touched
The last one that I
and you
bought,
enjoyed that you enjoyed
I the only reason I'm enjoying
that
it
you
right
sat
now
there and you're
is
like, this
oh
is worth my money?
well, I haven't really bought them because I got a FIFA 2020 two for free on off of PS Plus, so it's like I didn't have to pay for it. But the last sports game I bought was FIFA 2014, which I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed the AI. I enjoyed how hard it actually felt because now the AI just feels like a joke in FIFA. Like they don't really defend, they don't really attack, they don't do anything. They just besides just sit there. But
14 years. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, not 14 years.
no,
10 years.
yeah,
Essentially 10 years since the last good FIFA. That is heartbreaking.
yeah, practically.
Wow. For me, right, when it comes to this whole sports thing, the last FIFA I enjoyed was FIFA '08. So that's more,
I actually have oh 08. That was actually pretty difficult.
yeah,
Not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. That was a game, bro. FIFA '08 is a great game. Um, NFL. I've never really enjoyed Madden that much. I'm starting to get into them because of their campaigns. I like the campaigns in Madden. Um, as for just like the day-to-day playing and stuff, it's whatever. I prefer to watch NFL than to play the games. Um, but going back to the racing thing, and Need for Speed Unbound, in my opinion, is the best Need for Speed we've had. Actually, it's the best arcade racer we've had since like Most
I
Wanted, in my opinion.
I think Heat kind of was better.
No, Heat was dog shit.
I disagree.
Okay, that's cool.
The, I love the customization in the game. I love the soundtrack. I love the map design. It was just overall a fun map to drive around in. And when you play with friends in
I
that map, it
hate
was
it.
fun to do because you had the different night version where you had to stay away from the cops, and then the day races were it was just more relaxed racing, I guess.
It's essentially that structure is the same in Unbound, but the whole like I don't like the way it drives.
Yeah, I
I
will.
don't
I will.
like the
I will admit.
customization.
I will admit the
From
driving in Heat wasn't the best because they.
It
The,
was very slippery.
yeah,
You might as well be playing WRC the way it's slippery. I mean, drifting is cool, but I need to want to do it on purpose. You know what I mean?
yeah, not an accident. It missed a turn.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't like the driving, and I didn't like the incessant attempt to monetize me as well. That really turns me off.
The monetization
And
actually
it's
wasn't that
just
bad in the game. I'll be honest. That's why I kind of enjoyed it.
for me, I'm like one of those traditionalists. I
Yeah,
like zero monetization.
yeah. Now that's fair.
Yeah. That's why I love WRC.
Also,
You pay $60, you
Nelson,
get the game. Sorry? Go
Nelson,
ahead.
Nelson in the chat with some dub takes, dub edition remix.
What did he
Goat.
say? Oh, he's talking about Midnight Club.
Yep.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, enjoy your PS2 because Rockstar ain't never giving you a remaster.
Hey, I have an emulator for that shit, so I don't have to worry.
See, that's something I look forward to using eventually
I can actually help you
with
download if
my
you want after the
yeah,
show.
dude, definitely. Definitely. No, well, not
Oh,
now because I
oh,
don't
okay. Oh
have the
yeah, I forgot
PC.
about that. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. When I eventually get it, you're going to have to like do the step by step. I'll do like screen share and then you tell me, okay, click the left button. Now click the blue button.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would definitely be fun. But actually, I have a friend that actually taught me that you can actually get achievements now from emulations.
What?
Yeah, like no lie, I'm
Okay,
able.
so explain that.
So practically, you there's like this like it's like a different software you can download for the emulator that will have like
Okay.
achievements through its a system called RetroArch.
Oh, okay. It's not Xbox achievements.
No, it's not Xbox achievements.
Okay, so where do they tally?
It's kind of like
Steam.
on its own website, I believe,
Oh, okay,
because
that's cool.
you have to make an account.
Okay, just tell me please that turning on cheats and shit it disables the app.
I'm not too sure to be honest. I'm not that well.
Yeah,
I can ask my friend, and then I'll give you that information. But I do not know that.
because that's one thing I like about consoles and their achievements or trophies. If you turn on any type of modifications on like Fallout or whatever on PS or Xbox, automatically whatever you do, you won't get achievement points or a trophy.
Yeah, yeah. Usually the person that I would have to ask that to is in the chat, but today he's not, so I can't ask him.
Who's that?
His name is Farb. He's on Twitter as Farb too.
Okay.
I'll just give you his at so you can ask him. He's the one that gave me the that gave me access to get achievements for my emulator.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me open my tweet twat.
I
Okay, it's at
think it's just I
Kelly.
think it's just oh no. Uh it's just I, like capital I and then capital A and then M and then capital F and then ARB.
ARB. I am Farb.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Just
right. So there, just follow them.
yeah, just tell him I sent you and ask him about the retro art for
Are
achievements.
his DMs open?
Yeah, they
Okay,
should.
they're open.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'll ask him, or I'll ask you to remind me when I finally get my laptop.
All
It's
right.
just the work's been hell. I have found the laptop that I want, but finding the time to go and get it is a mission. Work
All
has been
right.
a real motherfucker, and it's like a store, and they don't do like delivery or whatever. Because I asked them like, okay, can you bring it to my office? And they were like, no.
No. Damn. Just like that.
Yeah, yeah. And by the time I leave the office, they're closed, and well, I can't go into specifics, but I'm in a very hectic period right now in terms of what we are doing. And for the next few weeks, there's just no time to be
Ah.
like, oh, I'm gonna take 2 hours to drive to the other side of town to go manually buy this thing in the year 2023. But whatever.
I guess with
So
that
yeah.
we should probably wrap up the show. I think we've probably gone on for a
D-
bit
fuck
longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot. Dude, we were supposed to have left. Jeez. Okay. Last question from me. What's your target uh for these shows? Do you sit there and you're like it has to be 1 hour long, or you like whatever happens happens?
Yeah, whatever happens happens is kind of just like as long as these conversations can go on for, you know?
Well, why are you trying to hurry me out? I'm having a good time.
Well, I kind of ran out of questions to ask, but like
All right. All right. Um you can find me on Twitter. It's at llouck7, LLOUCK7. Um, you can find me on Xbox and PlayStation as well with the same spelling, but there's a space between the K and the 7 on Xbox. Again, I am looking for someone to game share on PlayStation. Nelson, hit me up, bro. Seriously. Uh, yeah, you can find me on those two platforms on Twitter and obviously on TSWS Gaming on YouTube. Every Tuesday and Friday, I'm on with Ham, Cozy Beluga, Matt Likes Games, and a special guest. This week it's going to be Cali Rex. Uh, and then, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where you can find me. Thank you.
Wait, hold on a minute. When did I agree to this?
It is done, bro. It is the contract been signed. Like livers have been like released. It's all done. It's over.
All right, well, I'm down for sure.
There's been handshakes in blood and everything.
I don't remember such handshakes, but all right.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'll
happened.
make sure to put a link to your socials and all that stuff too, even to your
Awesome.
show.
Thank you.
But yeah, and like I said, I was going to say what I had planned with Flamish, like you brought up. So I wasn't going to make it public yet because I'm still on the fence about this.
Sorry. Sorry.
But
My
just
bad. My bad.
just for my viewers to know, I am actually planning on doing a new show with Flamish where we talk about pop culture or like stuff that goes on out there on the internet. It could be drama, it could be anything, and just have like a casual fun time talking
Movies.
about stuff. I honestly think that gaming's kind of just been oversaturated with a lot of podcasts, and I think just talking about like random things that go on out there on the internet is just like way more fun. So
Let's fucking do it.
it's just it's just gonna be me and him hosting the show, and we'll have like a special
you, him, and me.
I mean, if you want to be you could be part of it.
I just forced my way in, dog. This just happened live with everyone watching. You can't even back out now.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. I don't know if you're gonna be a permanent member. I'm trying to make it easier for me and Flamish.
All right.
But yeah, that's just the quick little update for you guys, and I'll let you guys know when I actually plan on doing it, because right now I'm still kind of on the fence of like when I'll do it, and like if the show's gonna be live or if it's gonna be pre-recorded. So stay on the lookout for that when I update you guys, and I hope you guys had a great time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And look again, I hope you had a great time being on this show, my friend. So
I had a good time. Thank you. Also, I'm very sorry for being late.
You're all good. I think we made up for having a good conversation here.
Pretty much.
And plus, not to mention, I also had the big fuck up in the beginning there of it not capturing your audio, sadly.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
everything
that was a mistake, right? Wink, wink. That was a mistake. You were totally not being vengeful. That's not what was happening.
Oh, totally. Wink, wink.
Sure, buddy.
but yeah, and tune in for next week's episode where I will be having K Mega onto the show. So
oh my god. Let me put the reminder on my phone.
Yeah, I'll be having
shitting on him in the chat.
I'll be having K Mega on this week, and then I'll be having Ham Solo on for next week's episode. Or not
good.
Yeah.
Essentially, I opened the floodgates.
Practically.
Let's go.
Yeah, but I also do have a planned pre-recorded episode possibly happening. That will be after the Ham Solo episode. So for that episode, I will be having Wise on as a guest.
Ooh.
So,
we need to bleep out a lot of what he says.
Wise is just... Oh no, I don't censor on this channel.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. Good luck with that.
I know I'll probably be demonetized, but it's gonna be worth it.
You might have to close the channel. Forget demonetization. You might have to shut down the channel. You might have to change addresses, bro. People are gonna find you.
But yeah. All right. Yeah. With that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Tune in for the next one. And peace.